Nan Cain's is known in Raisin Arm for the treats she always bakes. But when Christmas rolled around this time, it was almost more than she could take. Now, her cookies loved by everyone, her pies were stuff of legends, and her fruitcake the best in Newfoundland, and that was never questioned. There'd be lineups right around the shore, the whole community'd be buzzing, and her house would smell like Christmas when she opened up the oven. But now, Nan was getting on in years. It was tough to make it all from scratch. So instead of baking cakes for days, she planned, well, just one big batch. She called Rosalie out in Kelligrews. Her daughter'd get the stuff and sent it out on Saturday on the Raisin Arm taxi bus. All the packages, boxes, bundles, and bags arrived just like she said. And when Nan Cain stored it all away, boys, it took up 7 sheds. But to make this big old one-batch cake, she'd need a mighty pan. So she called up Preston down the arm. She knew he'd lend a hand. He brought up his 20-foot aluminum boat, put it in that old wood shed of Nan's, took out the seats, and Nan was pleased. She said, a lovely punt-shaped pan. She lined it with buttered paper, put in candied fruit and more, flour and spices, molasses and rum, mixed it all with a scullin' ore. There was batter to the gunnels. There was enough to feed a town. I allows if it was on the scale, it'd dress 400 pound. But she didn't have a giant oven, which is what this job required. So she just shut the door to that old wood shed, and then she set the shed on fire. Well, the Raisin Arm Volunteer Fire Brigade, they were quickly on the scene. But when they saw what Nan was up to, well, they didn't intervene. They set up chairs. They boiled the kettle as a light snow began to fall. And Cease, the fire marshal, said, "This is the best Christmas fire of all." And Billy took out his accordion. Those firemen sang so well. Billy always plays on the way to fires because, well, the fire truck got no bell. The neighbors started coming by. The whole community came round, shook hands and wished each other well as that shed burned to the ground. Some brought purity syrup and others, well, red rose tea. And there was lots of Christmas spirit round that fire by the sea. And when the flames died down and the cake was done, Nan peeled back the paper. And then the whole town smelled like Christmas. She was that good of a baker. They all sang carols as Billy played. Kids danced in woolen sweaters. And Nan served around that warm fruit cake, boys, you couldn't get much better. Yes, Raisin Arm down in Bonavista Bay had its Christmas spirits lifted higher with a giant boat-shaped rum fruit cake and a woman starting fires. Happy holidays.